Okay, don't forget your parts. We almost did. Make sure all your hardware is in your bags, including the bolts. When you tighten the bag, you need to tighten the bag. You got to grab the opposite ends, cinch it up so the hardware doesn't fall out. Goes in the bucket. Make sure you have your blocks. These also go down in the buckets, and these buckets are all labeled for each cart. These are the buckets that we remove from the handle area, and they'll go in the same area. So everything is in their respective spot. Okay, we're going to show you how to load the spare wheels, because you always have some spare wheels on your trip. So the best place to put these is inside the rack. Before we load the second rack, we're going to load a wheel up here. We're going to show you how to secure it. If you don't secure it properly, these things have been damaged, and these axle nuts here on the caps will rub the spokes. So you want to make sure you roll it in carefully. You got to go down past and kind of get it worked into a good spot. And then you want to secure them so that they don't do any damage anywhere. I like to go around the hub so it doesn't slide back and forth. You can do it many different ways. I want to make sure that it's tight and won't come undone. Okay, so this wheel, it can't come away from the top and it can't go forward or backward, and it's not rubbing on any wood. And that's the way you'll secure the extra wheels. We usually have probably 4 extra wheels per trailer. We want to make sure we do that. Okay, now we're going to try and get the wheel racks into the trailer. So you're going to have to position these trailers, the wheel rack, because it's really heavy, especially if you're on soft ground. We need to be lined up with these tracks on the door right here. The wheels are going to ride on the outer side of each track and up in the trailer. We need to watch out for the wheel hubs catching on the cable, so it'll be good to have somebody positioned here to pull them out of the way on both sides. And if you have to move this rack, you might need 8 people to turn this thing to get it aligned, because you're going to have to be lined up rolling into the trailer. Now we're kind of lined up here, so we're not going to have to struggle much. We don't have a lot of help here, but we're already lined up pretty good. But we're going to show you how we're going to go in. Just note that if you look down the cart, on this bottom side you have the 2 bottom wheels are on the inside, so this side is going to go against the board. But on the other side, because the wheels are offset, your inside board is this center wheel. So when you're looking down to a line up, don't line up to both outside wheels, because it's not going to be right. You got to be cognizant of that inside wheel right there. So as we go in, we'll try and get the cameraman to come around to this side and see as we go in. We'll show you how that works. Maybe you want to get a shot through here, maybe down. So we're going to approach this slowly.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I think he's filming. So can you see where the wheels are down on the board there? Yeah, we're not lined up. Can you see that there? So we're going to have to shift the cart that way a little bit. So we're going to pull it back. And sometimes it takes 2 people. We're going to push this cart just a little bit to get those wheels to align. See how we're lined up on the inside? I'm going to go point it out. Right here. So we should be pretty good. And then lining up on the other side. Here's the inside wheel. It's going to be to the inside of the board. So you'll need at least 2 people pushing up. Sometimes you might have a 3rd person. We're going to back up a little bit. Watch your fingers on here when you're going up. So let's go. Up slow and steady. Ready? Make sure your wheels go on the outside of the 2x4. Going slow and steady. Come up here. Now you have to make sure these wheel racks are designed so that the wheels intermesh from the front cart to the back cart. So you want to make sure they fit down inside. If you're not in far enough, the bar will not align up. So I can look right now, I'm going to show you. This bar is going to go in between here. It rests between all the 4 top wheels and has to line up with the bar. So we're going to put this bar in, and remember I showed you before, this is number 1 trailer, number 1 bar, this is the rear. There's a front bar, that's to the right. So if we slide this in position here, if these don't line up with these holes here, then you haven't engaged the wheels at the front side. So you don't want to force anything, you got to make sure those line up like that. So, I have to stand up here, I'm not tall enough. These should all be done. They should go in finger tight. You shouldn't strip anything. And before you tighten, you want to make sure all 4 bolts, 2 on each side, are in place. How you doing over there, Scott?
I have all mine are in.
Okay, I need a wrench. Okay, once all 4 bolts are tightened and not cross-threaded, we're going to just snug them up. Don't over-tighten them. Remember, just snug. That's all there is to it. This bar will keep the wheels from going forward and backward, the rack, or up and down. That'll keep the hand cart safe and protected for the next time they're being used. Okay, we're going to get ready to load the 13th axle on the trailer. This is the hanging one that we showed you being removed from before. But to do this right, you want this portion to be hooked on one of the mounting holes, and it doesn't matter if it's this way or if it's this way, it really doesn't matter. You may have to decide which one is easier to get in here. This one will go in easy enough. Let's try the other side, Scott, and let's just see if the other one is worse. Let's just flip it over, see if we got a bad one to show you. No, that one's working easy. You might have to figure out which tab works best for you. So the idea is that you're hooked here. Oh, I'll fall right in the middle.
And also we want to use the smaller hook on that axle, and the larger hook.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is the position it has to be in. This thing is designed to fit over the 3/4 inch steel bar like this. This is how it goes. So you can have 2 people, one just holding your hook right here. Pick up the wheel set and bring it in. Now it nestles in between the wheel sets just like that. And we hook it over the bar right here and you let it down. Now the idea is that we tighten this turnbuckle and it will tighten between this wheel and this wheel, because otherwise it can bounce up and down. So what you do is just lift it and turn this turnbuckle. You also need to have this pulled in so the door closed, so it does 2 things for us. So just lift to make that easy. Now we're hitting against this wheel hub, so that's as far as we're going to tighten it. And that's good. Other side in tight, tight there, now the door will close. Now, once that's up there, we just load in the applicable bins, holding all the components for this hand cart set. Got canopies, tools, and one other thing we probably should have mentioned earlier on is all these racks and everything. The frames are loaded per this diagram, which you'll get individual training later on. They're all numbered. These should all be put in the order that's shown here. And the wheel racks are loaded this way. You'll get that at training also. Okay, when you got everything loaded in the trailers and everything's secure, all your extra wheels and everything, we're ready to close the door. So when we close the door, if everything's loaded correctly, it should close up good, tight. Locks. Go ahead. Oh, I'm going to put this one on here.
Hold that on.
So we need to push that bar down on some of these locks to engage it. Push in. There we go. All these locks are key to like. That's all there is to it. This key will also fit the lock on the side door too. Thank you for your attention to detail and to keeping these things all together for the next use. Thank you.